What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Farrock22M, aka Infamous Owen, Infamous underscore Owen on IG. I'm here today to tell you about my first time going to California, mainly Los Angeles. This takes place January 2020. Now, before I start the story, I'm just going to give you a little heads up. I'm completely editing this story on my phone, so there will be little pictures, there will be little short movies, things like that. Um, so bear with me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a computer, so I'm gonna try to make this the best way as possible. Let's get into it. All right, check this here, right? Ever since I was a teenager, I always wanted to go to California. I used to see the California movies, the shows that take place in California. Even some people that I knew that visited New York from California, they always seem so cool. The movies, everything always seems so cool. Like I always just wanted to go there. Like somebody from another country or another state just wanting to come to New York. Always dreamed of going to California. I've been to California one time and I went to Disneyland, but I was a young kid, you know what I'm saying? So I could barely remember that. So that I wouldn't even count that. So, watching all the California movies and stuff like that, you kind of inspire. You see the palm trees. I love California rap. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Anybody who gets into my car, they know like 9 times out of 10, if I'm not listening to the East Coast, I'm listening to the West Coast. Not for nothing. I love South music, but for me, East then West. You know what I'm saying? I love West Coast music because they just got a whole different thing. A whole different sound. So that's why I can respect their kind of hip hop. But anyway, so this takes place around the beginning of January 2020. This is kind of right before the pandemic hit. So you know, people wasn't really wearing masks yet and things like that. Check it here. So it was around like January 8th or 12th. It was one of those dates because I know it's divided by four, but it was one of those dates I ended up going out there. Now, just so you know, I'm only gonna show the pictures that I took on the first day there. So it might be a four-part series this day because I'm gonna do it day by day. So all right, here it is. I think we're gonna say January 10th, just so. So I flies out, right? I ain't gonna lie, man. Today's the day. That's how I'm feeling. Like, yeah, today is the day, man. I booked my flight. You know what I'm saying? I got friends out there in California. In fact, my homeboy Choo Choo, that's one of my close friends right there. Me and him used to hang out every single day when he was living in Far Rockaway. So he ends up moving to California. He been out there for a while. He been out there for a few years before I could even actually check him. You know, and the reason why I was never able to go to California, honestly, it was too expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like it was too expensive because when I say I was a teenager, this is like shortly after September 11th. So ticket prices was crazy around that time. Um, when I was looking at California, let's say around 2004, 2005 ish. Tickets round trip was like $500. And this is me planning, say 3, 4 months in advance. Like ticket prices was no joke. And don't get confused, I was doing my thing in the streets, but I wasn't ready to spend $400 or $500 on a plane ticket. The thing is, I wanted to do that with my legit money, where it is that I was working at Stop and Shop at the time, and I was clocking maybe about the most was like maybe 275 a week, and that's when I worked like a hard week. I was making maybe seven and some change an hour, $8 and some change an hour. So I really wasn't making much. So for me to buy a plane ticket, I would have had to stack like 2 or 3 checks, and we not even talk about hotel and transportation money and all that other stuff because I was too young to rent a car at that time. So it was just a lot. So I ain't gonna lie, that kind of kept me away from California. But now I'm able to go. So we're gonna fast forward. January, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I remember, I had to catch an early flight. So, you know what I mean? I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I took a selfie on the plane, all kinds of stuff. I was good, you know what I mean? Now I ain't gonna lie, even after the selfies, all that, going from New York to California is like a 5.5 hour flight. You gotta be built for that. If you never really been on a plane before, if you don't like traveling, then that ride is gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? You're either gonna sleep through it, or you're just gonna be up in the air. But I always make sure I get straight 5 hour flights. I don't like doing the whatchamacallit, the layovers and stuff like that. So I took a straight flight there. So I ain't gonna lie though, man. When I seen Los Angeles from the sky, it was looking real nice, man. I'm like, wow. So this is looking crazy. Like when you flying in, you could actually see like the hood and stuff like that. You see them short houses and things like that, like them LA style houses. You can see that from the plane. So it's kind of intriguing. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie. I finally lands, gets off the plane. Now I got to get to the rental car center because when I booked my trip, I booked a hotel. Matter of fact, I didn't even book a hotel because I was staying at Choo Choo Crib. So the only thing I was worried about was my flight ticket and the rental car. So I gets off the plane, jumps into an Uber on my way to the rental spot, which was not far from the airport. You know what I'm saying? But it was probably like a mile or two away. It wasn't far from the airport. But I had to make sure I had my own wheels so I can move around the way I want to move around. You know what I'm saying? So we ends up going to the rental spot. I guess to the rental spot. See now, I never really rented a car on my own most of the time. I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes I get my brother to rent the car, or I just get my mother the money to rent the car, because there's always something when I try to rent a car, and I had a feeling it might be like that when I get to LA. So when I got to LA, I got to the rental spot. It was I think it was in a hotel, maybe the Hilton, one of those spots. So I guess there, long story short, I couldn't get the rental because the card that I was using was actually a debit card. They want a credit card. They don't care how much money you have. They want an actual credit card, in which I do have an actual credit card, but my limit was like it wasn't enough. At the time, even if I could, it's either one or the other. I could have got the car, or I had to put down on the deposit. Now the thing is that if I would have put down, or if I would have got the deposit, I would never had enough on my credit card to get the car, and it was just all kind of complicated. I was a little frustrated, so like damn. So I had to leave, and so my thing is, I'm like damn. Now I got to Uber everywhere, which wasn't bad, but I like to move on my own terms. So I ended up having to call Choo Choo. I'm like, yo, where you at? You know what I'm saying? What's the address? Yeah. So he sends me the address, and throw it into the Uber thing and start making moves. But you know, the thing is that I'm like, yo, I didn't tell him, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, I need some bud. I'm in Cali. They got dispensaries out here. I want to know what this is about. But you know what? Let's get to let's get to Choo Choo Crib first. Let me go ahead and drop my bags off, things like that, and we'll get this party started. So when I calls him, he tells me, yeah, just my address, blah 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 blah. But listen, I'm not home right now. I gotta handle some things out here. But my brother JT, he's at the crib. And like I said, we all raised in the same neighborhood, so I'm familiar with his family, like he's familiar with mine. So it's not like gotta meet a stranger. I'm like, oh, all right, he cool. All right, he at the crib. All right, cool. Just let him know I'm on my way. Bet. So well, when I was outside waiting for the Uber, I ain't gonna lie, I took a couple of selfies and took a couple of pictures real quick. Nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? So I jumps in the Uber, he hits the highway. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man, for somebody who's never been to LA is very scenic. You know, I'm not used to seeing palm trees every day. I'm not used to seeing like all kinds of hills and things like that. So it was very intriguing. We hit the highway. I'm like a tourist, just outside, just like I wanted to be like a dog out of the window. But it was cool. But one thing I noticed when we got off the highway is that in LA, which I mean in New York we got it too, but LA, yo, the homelessness out there is crazy. I ain't never seen so many homeless people out there. Like they really got some places, like every overpass, you're gonna have a whole bunch of homeless people under there. Now, New York, we definitely have homeless people. They all over the trains, they all in the streets, but I'm not gonna lie. LA, when it comes to that, they got it. They they have a homeless problem. For real. So anyway, we arrive, pull up. Well, I said we. I arrived. But the town that Choo Choo was staying in at the time was a place called Mid City. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looked hood over there, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't feel hood. Like the feeling I got from this is like, okay, I could tell this is one of them neighborhoods that probably used to really be bad back in the days, but they probably done locked a lot of people up. A lot of people done moved out, and it became a little gentrified. That's the feeling I got. Maybe I could be wrong. People from LA get in the comments. Let me know what Mid City is like. But I could tell. I seen gang graffiti. I seen graffiti. Murals, things like that. But kind of felt like at home. I'm not gonna lie. And not for nothing. If I was to ever move to LA and I wanted to be, kind of in the hood or, just kind of in the urban area, I would probably move to Mid City. You know, I don't know if there's a gang problem out there. I know they have gangs, but I don't know if it's a gang problem. But for the most part, I was out there moving around. I was by myself sometimes. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? But so I arrived to the crib. JT lets me in the crib, you know what I'm saying? Kicking it with him for a little while. I look at him like my little brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just around when we was at the crib and stuff like that. He was a young cat, but now he grew up, he do his thing, you know what I'm saying? He's into the vaping. And I'm talking about like he does shows, he does all kind of tricks with the vapes. He's crazy with it. He's probably the best in the country. I'ma say he's the best in the country. But besides that, I'm like, yo, JT, man, not for nothing, thank you for letting me in, whatever. But yo, you got some bud around here or something like that? He like, yeah, I got you, man. You know what I'm saying? Gives me one of those little eighth baggies. You know what I'm saying? He probably had like a little corner of some bud in there. Probably like maybe a gram and a half, 2 grams, enough for me to make 2 New York spliffs. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? So then I start getting the text messages because I let people know I'm landed. So I'm showing off, sending people like pictures of me smoking. Like they like, yo, you found a bud? Yeah, you found a bud? Yeah, I'm like, hell yeah, let me show you. You know what I'm saying? Send pictures of you know what I'm saying, me, you know. So like I said, I'm chilling, rolling up, smoking, waiting for Choo Choo to come around. So Choo Choo comes around. And we catching up, kicking it, bumping some music, you know what I'm saying? Talk crap, what we doing today, what's it like out here, what's going on, looking out the window. I can see Hollywood sign way down from his window. It's pretty far, but you can see it if you look hard enough. But I'm actually enjoying the feel out there. I'm like, yeah, I think this is where I need to be, man, because it just smells different. It just feels different. It just looks different. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving it already. I didn't even go nowhere. So of course he brings his own stuff. He rolls up, you know what I'm saying? And I got money to spend, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, let's hit up a dispensary or something. It's like Choo Choo's like, we good. I got somebody, you know what I'm saying? I got somebody. And I ain't gonna lie. When I said I need some more shit, you know what I'm saying? I need some more bud or whatever, because what your brother gave me ain't gonna be enough. So he calls his man and he gives me a little short menu. It's probably like maybe 6 flavors on there. I think out of those 6 flavors, I bought two, and he bought two. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, all four of them flavors was gas. Gas. I mean, we got gas in New York, but for some reason, this gas felt a little different over there. And it was a little cheaper, too. At that time, what we was paying $60, $70 for in New York, yo, I was paying 45 for it in LA, and it was much better. So I'm like, yo, this is dope right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm really enjoying this right here. So he calls his mans over. You know what I'm saying? His people say he got out there in LA. We chilling, we catching up. He introducing me to people. LA is real cool, man. A lot of people is really down to earth out there. You know what I'm saying? And don't mind, I'm at work right now, so you might hear some stuff. But anyway, so I'm like, yo, all right, we rolling up. They showing me all kinds of bud.
I'm a Ghostbuster.
Like what?
That's my favorite.
I mean, pretty bud. I'm smelling good and everything.
Oh yeah, got the whole video on it. Hero, his cousin's about to drop it. He's about to be the next fight.
Yeah, so for the most part, I spent most of my day catching up with Choo Choo, catching up with JT. You know what I'm saying? I ended up having to go to I had to go to the Walmart over there. Matter of fact, I think it was a CVS. I had to pick up some hygiene products, toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion and stuff like that. So we ended up walking over there to CVS, which was not far from the house. So I actually could get a feel of the neighborhood because I don't care where I'm at. Whether I'm in North Carolina, I'm down south, wherever, I'm gonna walk around. Even if we in a place where everything is far, I'm gonna walk the neighborhood. I'm gonna walk around the block. I'm gonna try to get a feel from the neighborhood. So he took me to the store, whatever, and that's why I ain't gonna lie. That's why I realized where I was at. I'm like, yo, what's this? I'm like, where we at? Mid City or whatever? Because I seen a mural. I'm gonna put it up on the joint. See me, I'm into graffiti and stuff like that. So stuff like that intrigues me. So we ended up going to the Walmart, and I keep saying Walmart, CVS, and I had to get something to eat also. So there was a Wingstop over there. Wingstop was cool. And like I said, I didn't really see a lot of activity, but I could tell you it was hood. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you it's a little hood. It's not the burbs, but it's a little hood, but it felt safe. You know what I'm saying? It felt safe. I don't know if it's safe over there. Shit happens everywhere. But I could tell you it was cool. So for that first day, we spent a lot of time catching up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really get to go nowhere like that. We went to this warehouse that he normally works from, in downtown LA. I think we went over there. Like I said, man, just catching up, smoking, chilling. Um, I had to get some sleep because that long ass flight, and I'm on New York time on top of that. So my day kind of ended early, but I ain't gonna front, man. I think I was out there for 4 days, but it was definitely a blast. And you know what I'm saying? More really, I was just loving the bud over there, man. That was like my main thing. I was like, yo, this is some fire stuff right over here. And the weather, I went in January. It was still chilly. Don't get confused. And from what they was telling me, it's normally warmer because when I was looking at the forecast in New York, it wasn't that far off. But there's a difference between a New York 60 degrees and a LA 60 degrees. And I tell you, the LA 60 degrees is way more comfortable than a New York 60 degrees or 50 degrees. Because I think it was like 50 degrees in New York. And in LA, it was like 55, 60. But it was a whole different feel. You know what I'm saying? Because I took my scarf off as soon as I got out there. I wore a light jacket the whole time out there. If it wasn't a light jacket, it was just a hoodie and a hat. So LA was very comfortable. The weather, the people, you know what I'm saying? Everything about it was just comfortable. Like for real, I was really loving it. And I'm like, all right, we gonna figure out what to do for the rest of these days. But Choo Choo, you already had plans. You know what I'm saying? So, I've been to a few dope spots out there. I've been to a few clubs. You know what I mean? I went to like two dispensaries my whole time out there. But I'm gonna just say this: nothing compares to the stuff that's on the streets. Now, that's why I believe that even in New York, once these shops and things start opening up, it's gonna work in the beginning, but the black market is always gonna win. The dispensaries is really for the tourists, for the people that don't want to deal with the people on the street. Don't get confused. I believe there's going to be others that, that's not tourists that's going to purchase from these shops, but the streets is always going to prosper, and that's kind of how it is in LA because like I said, that was my first time out there, but what I'm saying, I came back to LA like 3 or 4 different times, so I definitely had more of an experience in other places, but yeah, LA is definitely a recommended place for you to go. I ain't never been to a place so many times within like 2 years, so yeah, anybody who's never been there, I would say go check it out. Go to LA, especially if you a smoker. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. There's other things to do out there, even if you're not a smoker. But there's things to do. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. But I'm gonna wrap this part up in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing really I could think of about that day that happened. I looked through my photo gallery. There's nothing that says anything. I know my day ended early because I was tired as hell. But yeah. So there's gonna be more parts to this. There's gonna be more days, and I'm gonna show y'all. But and it also depends on the amount of views I get, because I'm not gonna just be putting up videos. And I'm getting like 50 views and things like that. I mean, I know it could pop off, but